Hello, beautiful creatives. It has been, I don't know, maybe a month and a half since I have made a video for you guys. I actually had a bit of a relapse with my health and wasn't feeling so great. So I made myself a cup of tea and decided to sit down and have a chat with you guys and let you know what I've been up to. I wanted to sort of give you the gift of a video for Thanksgiving, those of you that celebrate Thanksgiving, and I don't know when I'll be back on again. So I thought, you know, for a sort of holiday gift to everyone who's supported me so much throughout the years, I would put together a little bit of a video. I have some art supplies that I've found that have really helped carry me through this time of not feeling well. And I've been back to creating in my art nest. I haven't gotten up in the studio. I actually haven't been up in my studio in, well, probably since I made my last YouTube video for you guys. So probably it's been like a month or more. And so I'm back to creating in my art nest. And you know, that's great. It's such a blessing to have that set up. But this time I completely rearranged it and did things a little differently because I found a new product that is so perfect for creating in my art nest that I couldn't wait to tell you guys about it. And they are Tempera sticks. And I'm probably the last person on YouTube to find out about them. But I have been so excited about them because they enabled me to create even on my lowest energy days. You know, one of the symptoms that I have with my autoimmune disease is chronic fatigue, severe disabling chronic fatigue. And it just feels impossible to create on those days when my fatigue is really high. So these tempera sticks are the bomb. They are so awesome. So I've been using these for, oh my gosh, weeks. And so they're already unboxed, but I'm gonna show you what the boxes looked like. This is the King Art ones that I got. And they come packaged in these little cases. And when I first ordered these, I was in love with these little cases that they come in, but I found that they're not that practical for working, at least, you know, in your lap, because they have holes in the back. So every time you put your finger through the hole, you kind of knock them out of the hole. And it's the way they're set up. You can't flip them over. I'll show you. But for storing, I think the plastic cases are pretty neat. But I'll show you what they look like. This is the metallic set, which I don't use much, so it's still in the case. And this is the back, which I wish they didn't have all that opening back there. I actually thought of taping that over because then it has two little clips here. And then as soon as you poke your finger in any of those holes in the back, the whole tray just gets disrupted. So as cute as these cases are, these holes in the back, unless you're working with them flat on a desk, then it would probably work out. But I have a bunch of different brands. So I have the King Art, and I have the Shuttle Art Tempera sticks. And this was a set of 20 classic, 6 metallic, and 6 neons, and they're all different shapes and sizes. And then this is what the package looked like for the quick sticks. And this one had, and their claim to fame is that this one dries in 90 seconds. So each one has different properties. This set had 24 vibrant colors, 6 neons, 6 metallic, and 12 classic colors. So that's what the packaging looks like. I'm gonna give you guys a little clip of what my art nest looks like since I rearranged it and what it looks like to be working in there. And I hope you find it inspiring because it's so important to stay creative. And there's some nights when I'm sitting in there and I just think I can't make anything. But you can if you have everything within an arm's reach. And it's so easy to just grab something and, you know, remember it doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to be an expression of your creativity and immersing yourself in the creative process. I know I say that all the time, but you'll see some of the stuff that I created. I'm going to show you some of my sketchbooks, and You know, some of it just isn't pretty and some of it's beautiful. So if you have the stuff right there, sometimes you surprise yourself with what you can create. So let me show you some of these. So I showed you the quick sticks. These are all solid tempera paints. And these are blendable with water. This is the rest of that set of the King Art ones. And they're shaped like this. They got a little gripper here. Put your fingers on there, pull the top off, and then you turn them to make them come up, and then you can turn them to make them go back down. These ones don't dry 100%, they're water soluble. The other ones are a little bit, but they dry so fast, you have to do it quickly. So they're not really as water soluble. And these are, you can really move these around with water. You can smudge them, and some people I saw online said that they preferred smudging them. The paper that I was working on, the smudging with the smudge stick just didn't work that well. For me, it worked better to use a water brush. So this set is Thin Sticks by Quick Stick. And these are same kind of size. These colors are more vibrant. I like that these colors, the colors in the King Art set are a little more muted. They're still pretty vibrant. Apparently Holbein makes a set of these that are, I've heard they're really pricey. I actually haven't looked up the price, but people say they're really expensive. All of these sets are really inexpensive. And if I can actually remember how to do it, I haven't done it in a while, I will put links below in the video description on each of these sets. And the quick sticks are a little more transparent. The King Art are the most transparent, and these are a little more opaque, but still slightly transparent. And then these fatter ones are the Shuttle Art, and the Shuttle Art ones are the most opaque. Like this white is killer. It is so opaque. It's just wonderful. And you can mix the colors together. This is the size of them. And again, you screw them up and you can screw them back down. And they go on like lipstick. I swear, when you're using these, you feel like you're doing something wrong because you feel like you've snuck into your mom's makeup drawer and you're a kid and you're like coloring with lipstick. These I think are even softer than Sennelier. I mean, they're so juicy and lipsticky, but they aren't as messy as working with pastels. This was another set that I ordered from, this is also Quick Sticks. But actually, you know what I'll have to do? It'll probably be easier if I flip the camera around because I'm going to show you some of the artwork that I've done with them. I'm going to show you some of the other artwork that I've done while I've been what my husband and I call chair bound. You know, some people are bed bound with illness. I end up getting chair bound where I get stuck in a recliner. I've actually pretty much been in a recliner for about a month. I haven't really gotten out to do anything. So this is like, sometimes I feel like I just don't have the energy lately to make a YouTube video, and I've missed making them for you guys. But I've had this thing in the back of my head where Beginner's Mind Art Mind is about creating during difficult times, whatever that means, you know, difficult life situations, health, grief, whatever. And I thought, gosh, you know, I need to show you guys what I've been doing during this difficult time. So let me kind of figure out a way to flip the camera around because I'm not in my studio, so I don't have all my fancy camera stands and lights. And I'll show you what these sticks look like when you put them on paper and what I have drawn with them and what I've done with other media too. So happy to be back with you for this video. We'll see what happens in the future. I'm not sure that I'll be doing weekly again right at this moment, but here I am for now. So let's get started. So this is the current state of my art nest. I know I've talked to you guys about it before, but this is how I have everything set up now. I have my markers, my temper sticks, my luminance colored pencils all in here, and a little watercolor palette down there. And these are the Tempera paint sticks, and then the Hemi gouache that I did an unboxing video that I gave my husband. And then what I do is I have this little tray. I set this little tray up on my lap, and I can put my sketchbook there and have any tools that I'm using and pull them out and put them on the little table there that's on my lap. So all this time when I haven't been feeling well and haven't been able to get up into the studio, I have been working once again in my art nest. And I'm super grateful for it because it helps me pass the time and stay creative, and helps me cope with depression and things like that while I'm not feeling well. So I'm going to take this stuff over to the table in the dining room, and I'm going to break it down a little bit and tell you a little bit more about it. Okay, so first I think I'll show you how I have this all packed up next to my chair. It's on a little bench next to my chair when I have it over in my art nest. And the two bins sit like this next to each other on that little bench. And then on this side is that Hemi gouache, which I actually just took out the other night. I think I've actually only done 1 or 2 paintings with this. But this is that Hemi gouache that I did a video on with my husband unboxing it. And he just never used it. He used it once or twice. So I stole it the other night and I decided to add it to my art nest. So I've been kind of having fun experimenting with this. And then under that is this box of the King Art sticks, Tempera sticks. And then under that is the box of the, which ones are these? These are the shuttle art. These are the really opaque ones, the shuttle art. And then another set that I bought from, is this shuttle art? This is Quick Sticks. This was their flesh tone kit. So for those of you that like to do portraits, they have a whole flesh tone kit that they call Skin Colors of the World or something. And there's a huge range of colors that they have. When I started to video this, it was so bright and sunny, and the sun just went behind the clouds. So I hope that it's going to be bright enough because I don't have my studio lights set up down here. And then this is the big bin. So this one has 2 containers of my Caran d'Ache Neocolor 2s, sort of sorted by color, warm and cool colors. And then there is another packet in here of the browns and the grays of those Neocolor 2s. And then next is this whole section is my Tombow markers. And they're sorted by color in these bags, which makes it really convenient. And this is just browns and grays of a bunch of different things. Tombow, Posca, the Micron, Faber Castell. So that's what's in there. And then this next section is my Caran d'Ache Luminance color pencils, sorted by color families. That makes that really easy. And then over here is the other Neocolor 2s. This is pencil sharpeners where I'm sitting in the chair, so I just sharpen it right into this bag and then empty the shavings out. This is my pack of, I did a video on these, you guys might remember. These are the Ecoline brush pen. I think they call them watercolor markers or whatever, but that's what's in there. And then there's a set of these Faber Castell. My husband just walked in, so the dogs are barking. Sorry about that. These are the Faber Castell. What do they call these? Watercolor markers. So these are water soluble and you can spread them. So that's what's in that. Honestly, I haven't used these that much during this period of working in my art nest. And then this is that King Art temper stick that I showed you. These are the quick stick ones. And then I have a little container of M. Graham watercolors in here. that I have played around with. So everything in here I have been using only a little bit of these watercolor markers, but the rest of the stuff I've really been using, so there's no wasted space. You know, it's all valuable real estate and things that I'm using. And then the Hemis and these. And I'm going to reposition the camera again and show you some of the things that I have been working on in my sketchbooks during this time of working in my art nest. Okay, so these are the sketchbooks that I've been working out of. I only brought down a few, and I've mostly been working out of this Art Creations by Talons, Royal Talons. I don't know if you can see the label on that. This one, let's see, what have I done in this one? I don't remember if I showed you in, let's see, it wouldn't have been my last video, it would have been the video before that, working with the Paul Rubens paints that they sent me to review. These were some of the paintings that I did with that, and I was going to do a follow-up video on that, and that's when I sort of dropped out of sight on YouTube. So I'll just show you these quickly. I really enjoyed working with those Paul Rubens. They're so flat. They just were a pleasure to work with. I'm hoping that at some point they're going to be able to offer them open stock because I really liked working with them. These were all really fun to do. I hope it's light enough in here without my big studio lights. I really like that one. And these were done, was just before I left the studio. These were done. So 10/4/22. I think that this was the last thing that I worked on in the studio. That's the Paul Rubens. Really like them. Nice and flat. I wonder if it would work better to show it this way. Just hope there's enough light. 10/14/22. Okay, and that was the end of the Paul Rubens ones. And then I think what I did was I started sketching some stuff in here. Just doing some contour drawings. I hadn't done any sketching or painting in a little bit, so I was trying to get myself back into it. So these were just some loose contour drawings. More contour drawings. These sketches were sketches that I later did a painting of. Well, only two of these. This one I did a painting of, which I'll show you in my other sketchbook. And this one I was planning on doing a painting, but I didn't do it yet. But this one I did a painting of, and I really like how it came out. This one I did a painting of too. And I really like, this is supposed to be a bell jar. And I think this one's called, let's see, this one is called In Ruins. This is called The Librarian, because this is all books behind her. I don't know if you can see that. And this one's called Nights Spent in the Bell Jar. And she's sitting there protected in her little bell jar with her owl. This is a scene in my living room that I just drew from my recliner. This is a carousel horse that Dawn's mother made, and I did a drawing of that. That's also in our living room. Did some birds, which I intended to paint and didn't. And then just some scribbling around. And then this is the color swatches of the King Art gel sticks, Tempera sticks. And then that was just my first fooling around with them. This one I was smudging, trying to smudge with a smudge stick. And on this very, very smooth, there's no tooth on these pages. I found that the smudging just didn't seem to work that great. So, but this is what the colors look like. This is the metallics. I don't know if you can see the metallicness to them. And this is the regular colors. I really like them. And see, the King Art one is the one that they say doesn't dry completely. I think it really does kind of dry completely. I mean, let me see. Eventually, see, it's not coming, well, maybe let me do it on a darker color. It may take a while, but yeah, it's not really coming up. So, I mean, I feel like they dry. Maybe it depends on how thickly you put them on. Definitely does not stay as wet as pastels does. So that was what I did in that sketchbook. And then this one, I did the paintings of those drawings. So this is the In Ruins drawing that I just showed you. And this was done with the Paul Rubens. Yeah, was this the Paul Rubens? Yes, it must have been the Paul Rubens paint. So this was 1016. So I must have done this in the studio. I can't remember if I did this downstairs or up in the studio. I had done some filming for you guys that I had planned to publish after my last video, and then I started not feeling well, so I never published it. So I don't even know what happened to that footage, and this is the bell jar painting with a little owl and snow falling outside. Really enjoyed. And this was done with the Paul Rubens Acrylics too. This was 1019. I think I did do these two in the studio, so those are probably the last two paintings that I did in the studio. And this is my Stillman and Burn. This is the Zeta series. Still, I don't know if that shows up on there, Stillman and Burn. And this art creation sketchbook. Gosh, I don't know if I showed you guys any of this. I think that was in there already. That was in there already. So this one was inspired by a friend of mine, Carolyn, a painting that she did of her and her husband dancing, and she had a bunch of words. So I put Don and Linda dancing before the storm, and then together supporting each other. We will face this together. We will get through this. Courage, hope, uplifting each other. 31 years, 31 years together. Strength, arise, or asking for help. I will hold you up. I love you. Yeah, so this was sort of a expressive art painting to work through some of the feelings that we were having. That was 1015, and that was done in my recliner downstairs. This was just fooling around with it. Looks like maybe a combination of, I'm not sure if this might have just been cleaning off my palette with from the Paul Rubens paints. Very thinned down. This looks like a combination of markers, Tombow markers, and maybe the paint sticks. And this sketch, whatever I used on this, probably was a Luminance Payne's Gray, and it looks like it's coming off over on this. These are bleeding back and forth between each other. I did have little papers stuck in between, but they always fall out and get annoying. This was the quick sticks. I should just call them the Tempera sticks, because when I use them, I mix them all up. I like the opacity and blendability, water blendability of the King Art sticks a lot. And then I sort of mixed them with layers of the more opaque shuttle art and quick sticks. So this was really fun. Gosh, I love these sticks, you guys. I can't encourage you enough to try them out. They're really, really fun and easy to create with. This was, yeah, okay. This looks like it also has some Neocolor II in it and maybe some luminance color pencil. This is the Liquitex markers, the paint markers. I've done videos on those before. I can scooch this in more. I've done videos on those before. So that was the Liquitex markers, which I actually really like using those too. They're fun. They're a little messier, take a little longer to dry. So you have to have a little more patience or they'll sort of make mud. And they do have a little bit of a smell. So I was playing with those, but then when I really started to not feel well, I did date this. So this was 11/1. That was 11/1. These were all on 11/1. Wow, I did a lot that day, huh? But these do bother me a little bit when I'm not feeling well. When I'm feeling okay, I notice the smell, but it doesn't bother me as much. This was a combination of, it looks like the Liquitex marker, and maybe it's all the Liquitex marker, and then I tried to lay something on top of it and it wasn't working. And this is one of our favorite spots to go in the fall. It's in Ludlow, Vermont, and it's Lowell Lake, and they have all these abandoned little cabins there tucked away in the woods. It used to be a camp, like a family camp. So this was done, looks like a great combination of things. It's Tombow marker, luminance colored pencil. It doesn't look like I used the Liquitex paint marker, and I don't think I used any of the quick sticks. So it looks like just Tombow and the luminance maybe. Oh yeah, and there may be some Caran d'Ache in there. I'm not Caran d'Ache, Neocolor II. Yeah, it looks like there is some Neocolor II scribbled in there. Playing with, this was the face colors from, of the Tempera sticks set, the set of face colors. So this is all the colors in the face colors set. So if you're into portraits and playing with faces, that's a fun set to get. And then I was laying luminance color pencil over them, it looks like. That's a fun set to get. This is a mix of everything. It's got some of the, is there Tombow in here? I'm not sure. Definitely most of it is the Tempera sticks, mixture of all the different ones. And then it looks like I put Neocolor II over the top of them, just seeing how it would layer. And you could tone them down with the Neocolor II, get some expressive liney marks with them. And again, this is the quick sticks, the Tempera sticks, mixture of the King Art, quick sticks, and shuttle. And it looks like I used some of the metallic in this one. I don't know if you can see the glisten of it on here, but. And this is what I mean also about if you have the stuff within reach while you're not feeling well or struggling with, depression or grief or other life challenges, health challenges, if you have it within reach, you don't have to think about making pretty things. You literally can just scribble it out. And I promise you, if in your mind you can let go of the attachment to creating pretty art, you will feel better after you create. This was one of those examples of just letting go and just putting marks on paper and feeling good about it. This one too, this was my plant that I could see from where I was sitting. So I just sort of changed the setting that it was sitting into a much simpler setting. It was, much more complex in real life. And there's, nothing realistic about this. It's very primitive and simplified, but I really enjoyed doing it. And this was the quick sticks, the Tempera sticks. It looks like I used the King Art ones and then used a water brush. That's the other thing I didn't show you that I have in my set over here, is I have blenders, which I really haven't used that much with these Tempera sticks, but I have different sizes of water brushes, and I use this one a lot, the really big fat one with the Tempera sticks. And that was on 11.3, looks like. This was just fooling around with the luminance color pencils in the Tombow, a more muted palette. This reminds me of when I took Emma Carlisle's Patreon. You know, we would do drawing sessions and fool around with the Tombows and luminance Caran d'Ache pencils. More of the Tempera sticks. More of the Tempera sticks, and it looks like I put some luminance colored pencil over it. Again, really not having any energy to put into making finished art, but just putting marks on paper and enjoying it. Same with this. Just could not for the life of me think of what to create. So I just took a pencil and started drawing things, that shapes, and then these strange birds with mushroom bodies or mushroom skirts came onto the paper. So I just sort of went with it. I just let myself go with whatever was showing up. Intuitive art. And this one also was intuitive art. And then there you go. Sometimes you don't think you have any energy and something really beautiful comes out of it. I was really pleased with this. I don't know if you can see the stars in the sky. The clouds just went over the sun here again, so it got real dark. But he's reaching out for an apple, and she has an apple. There's all different colors in the tree. And it just shows you how you can layer these Tempera sticks. So I would put down first the more transparent ones, and then I would go to the fatter ones that are more opaque, like these are the more opaque ones. The quick, are these the, no, this is the shuttle art. The shuttle art ones are more opaque, and you can actually get them to sit on top of a darker color. So that's kind of fun. And this is the metallic, the gold metallic. And that's the white over the black. So that's the shuttle art white is so opaque. Now you wouldn't get that with the King Art ones. It's more transparent, but there's times for blending where the King Art transparent ones are more what you would want, because you sort of use the white to tone down colors or blend them out a little bit, which is what I think I might have done up in here a little. And then this one was called Portal. And I paired these on Instagram. I paired each of these with Rumi poems. I forget what I called that one. Night Gatherers. And if you go back and look at my Instagram, you'll see the poems that went with them. And I think they were just really nice matches between the paintings and the Rumi poems. But this is the same thing, the quick sticks. I keep saying quick sticks. When I say that, I'm interchanging all of them because it was a mixture of all of the different types that I have, the Tempera sticks. And, you know, this is the more opaque brand, the Shuttle Art brand. This is one of their colors that I love a lot. What are they? Do they say the name on here? It's part of their classic set. I don't think they do give the name. It does say you have to be careful to keep the cap on because they will dry out, but I love this color. I use this color a lot. So yeah, just layering them, and the more opaque ones on top, starting out with the more transparent ones. They mix together beautifully. And then in the end, I did go back with a Posca pen and put the little stars in the sky. This is, I forget what I called, Surrender. And this one I also matched with a Rumi poem. And this was done on 11/8. And again, it just goes to show you, these were all done on nights when I felt like I had zero energy. Just picked up the sketchbook. I kind of joked to myself that if I had known they would come out this good, I would have done them in the better sketchbook, the Stillman and Burns sketchbook, instead of this one. But you just never know. With intuitive art, if you're just allowing it to flow through you, you really never know what's going to come out. But I really like these intuitive paintings. And again, this one, there's a poem that goes with it on Instagram. And then this night was the opposite. I felt like creating and started to just sort of make intuitive marks on the page, and it just really didn't go anywhere, but I just kept going with it. It didn't matter to me. The urge to create was stronger than the urge to create pretty art. So I just let it flow out and, you know, really enjoyed it. It's this kind of creation time spent making this kind of art is as important to me as it is making, you know, art that comes out prettier. I think it's just as valuable. And sometimes I think it's more valuable because when I've created this way, it usually means that I'm feeling at my absolute worst and energy is so low, and yet there it is. Something comes out onto the page. This one was called, I forget, but there's a really great Rumi poem that goes with this on Instagram. I'll either try to read them at the end of this video, or you can look them up on, and then this one, yeah, meh, you know, I didn't care for it that much when it came out, but I was glad that I created that night. And these are all the Tempera sticks. Every one of these is the Tempera sticks. Aren't they gorgeous the way they just blend together, or you can leave them like, you know, all painterly like that. It's really easy to stay loose because you have, especially if you're using the big fat ones, because you have so little control over those big fat areas. Same with this one, just intuitive working, trying to experiment with the blending of the sticks, which again on this, this is very similar to moleskin paper, very, very smooth, maybe a little more tooth than moleskin, but the blending wasn't working well. For me, it works much better to blend with the water brush using these Tempera sticks. So not sure how I felt about this one in the end, but I did have fun during the process of working on it. The key is not to let yourself get frustrated if it's not going the way you want it to go. Same with this one. Didn't really have any idea where it was going, but wanted to create. So there is this strange little green-haired boy with red ears. I almost feel like I should have put stars on the dark background. And this, you can see where I used the brush to sort of blend different colors together to get a muted color for his shirt. Another just kind of crazy portrait with these Tempera sticks. I've been using them a lot, as you can see. Another really expressive portrait, figurative study. I did have papers between all of them. That's what I finally started doing, was skipping a page so that, because you can see they do, I think you can see they do leave marks, transfer marks onto the next page. Another one, I kind of like the way this one came out, with this sort of shadowy figure in the background. This looks like I used both the Tempera sticks and Luminance Caran d'Ache pencils, which is kind of a fun combo, actually. And the, you know, I've said that the King Art ones stay wet a little longer. The Shuttle Art and Quick Sticks dry really fast. I mean, they say within 90 seconds, which I believe, you can already start putting colored pencil on top of them because they're completely dry. So those two brands, the Shuttle Art and the Quick Sticks, are more opaque and you can work over them very quickly, which is great. But then the transparency of the King Art sticks and the fact that they do stay wet a little longer and you can blend them longer with water or by rubbing them, they all just have their benefits and they work wonderfully together. I probably keep saying that, but I'm enjoying them. Like, I don't know if you can see, if it's going to blur on me, how chunky I got these on here. You know, you could just really get some thick marks on there if you want. And then this one, again, I believe I put down the flesh tone tempera marker. And I think I did the whole thing with the tempera markers, or yeah, paint sticks, and then went over it with the Caran d'Ache colored pencil. And I'm wondering if I used a Tombow pen over this. I think I did it in a light blue with a tempera stick, and then I think I went over it with a Tombow. And I can see where I did go over it a little bit with some of the luminance colored pencils. And I really liked how that came out. And same with this. This was 1114. The background, I believe I did with Tombow marker. And then most of her is with the tempera sticks, except these little flowers that I put over her shirt. And with this one, I blended it with water, so it looks more like paint than pastel. And then I went over it with a Posca pen to make the white. Just a pencil sketch, didn't fill her in with color. Sometimes I like the looks of the pencil sketch. This one was M-gram watercolor. I really should mark this down because I'm never going to remember this, but this was M-gram watercolor, that little set that I have. Another portrait sketch. Another landscape. And this was with the tempera sticks. They are so much fun to work with, you guys. So much fun. Another tempera stick one on a night, really low energy. Just threw some color on there and didn't even try to blend them. Just let them be. And this one I didn't date. I don't think I dated that one either. But this one I think I did last night. Is that the last one? I did two, yeah. So this one I did last night. It's a really fun still life with the, and the only thing I used on this was the tempera sticks. I didn't add any color pencil or anything. That was a lot of fun. And then this one too. Big old bowl of apples. Just blended this tempera stick with a water brush. And that's that. That's where I'm up to now. So I think I've showed you everything that I've been working on while I have been away from you guys. So maybe what I'll do is just smear some onto a page and show you what they look like in use. Okay, so I think I will show you what each one, not each color, but each brand kind of looks like as it comes out on paper. So this is Quick Sticks Thin Sticks. They also have the fat sticks. So this is their thin sticks. And I wish it showed how juicy and lipsticky they are. I don't know if that will come, you know, really be expressed on the video. Take another color. Just like putting lipstick on. It's crazy, you guys. These are so much fun. So that is again, that's the Quick Sticks Thin Sticks. This is the Tempera Paint Stick Shuttle Art. This is the very opaque one. So you can see how, maybe what I should have done was put down Sharpie marks. Let me get a Sharpie. I just put down some Sharpie marks on here. Give you an idea. Okay, so let's go back to the Quick Sticks Thin Stick. This is the Quick Stick Thin Stick. I'll do a couple of them, a couple of colors. This is the Tempera Paint Stick by Shuttle Art. This white is amazing. It's got a little dirty because I've been using it over things, but it's amazing how opaque that is. Interesting. Over other colors, this is more opaque. It's interesting how it's not looking as opaque over the black marker. But when you put it over other colors, it's pretty opaque. This is a flesh tone that they have. This is a dark blue that they have, and a brown. So that is, oh, this is the, oh, do I have these, oh, that's no good. Do I have these mixed? Yes, I do. Oh, that would explain a lot. I have this Shuttle Art Tempera sticks and the quick sticks mixed up in this. So the quick sticks were probably those last two. So those two are mixed up in there. I'll do a couple of the flesh tone ones. These are the quick sticks flesh tones. They have tons of, I'm not sure how many it is, but all kinds of different flesh tones in here. So that was fun to play with. And then the King Art ones. I'll show you a few of these. These are the ones that stay wet longer and are a little more transparent. And I wish you could see how creamy, creamy, creamy they are. Maybe it'll show through in the video, maybe it won't. They do have nice colors. These have the more muted colors. As I was saying before, I've heard that Holbein has really nice muted colors. I would love to get a bunch of the Holbein ones just because they have more artist type colors is the way I've heard it. And I would love to get a bunch of those, but they're kind of pricey, so I probably won't be getting any at this time. Unless Santa brings some for Christmas, but these are just awesome. It's one of my favorite flesh colors. So then you can start to take these and move them around with a water brush. And kind of blend them. Which is fun, because you can make endless amounts of colors by blending them. And some people do say they prefer smudging them, but I don't know. I just kind of like using the water brush. I think it has a more painterly look. So yeah, that's the Tempera sticks. And I think, you know, they're marketed as a kid's toy, a kid's craft toy, but I think you can make some really nice art with them. I think they're really fun to play with, and I can't wait to try the Holbein, never know if I'm saying that right, at some point for more muted colors, you know, more artist colors. But these are just endlessly fun, absolutely endlessly fun. You know, I'm thinking, I said this was the quick sticks. I think this, yeah, I was wrong about that. This one was the one that I did with Dawn's Hemi gouache. I can feel that it was the playing around with the, this was definitely the watercolor Graham, but this was the Hemi gouache set that I had given Dawn that he never used. I think that's the only one I did. That's the quick sticks. Yeah, I think that's the only painting I did with the Hemi gouache so far, but I think you can get some really nice artwork done with these I think they're much more than a kid's toy. I think they're really worth looking into if you haven't looked into them yet. So give them a try. I'll put links to them below in the show notes below the video. If you click the little more arrow, the down arrow, and read the show notes, there will be a link down there for all of these items. Okay, so I thought before I signed off, I would show you the painting and read the Instagram, the Hafiz and Rumi poems with it, because I thought not all of you might have Instagram accounts, so you wouldn't be able to look it up. So I'll start with this one. Okay, so they're all Sufi quotes. This just happens to be Hafiz, this quote, and this painting is called Night Gatherers. This is the kind of friend you are. Without making me realize my soul's anguished history, you slip into my house at night. And while I am sleeping, you silently carry off all my suffering and sordid past in your beautiful hands. Hafiz. And the next one, so this is Portal. I'm reading these off my iPad. Okay, so that's the Portal painting. Okay, the poem is a Rumi poem. I have come to drag you out of yourself and take you into my heart. I have come to bring out the beauty you never knew that you had and lift you like a prayer to the sky. And the next one, surrendering is not a weakness. At the contrary, it is strength. The surrenderer stops living in boiling water and starts living in a secure place. And that's Shams of Tabrizi, I think, another Sufi poet. The Thirsty Fish. And this one is a Rumi poem. The Thirsty Fish. I don't get tired of you. Don't grow weary of being compassionate toward me. I have a thirsty fish in me that can never find enough of what it's thirsty for. Show me the way to the ocean, Rumi. And if you're not familiar with Sufi poetry, it's the beloved and the beloved. It's the beloved's relationship with God. So it's these love poems to God. So like when it's a thirsty fish and that's in the ocean, but it can never find enough of what it's thirsty for. The ocean would represent God. You know, God, it's surrounded by God, but it can never find enough God. They're just beautiful love poems to God. So I'm a little rusty at making videos. Forgive the brain fog today. I hope it wasn't too apparent, but I really did enjoy making this video for you guys. And I hope you enjoyed the video. And happy Thanksgiving to those of you that celebrate, and happy holidays. If I don't talk to you again before the holidays, whatever holiday you celebrate, I hope it's full of love, laughter, family, and all the wonderful things. Give yourself the gift of creating yourself an art nest and gather some supplies and get yourself cozy and create. And tag me on Instagram. I'd love to see what you're creating in your own art nest. I hope you enjoyed the video, you guys. Really good being back with you here today, and I will see you in the next video. God bless and take care.